lot of changes taking place. You guys have like $330 million in new construction. That's got to be worth, $1.4 million of free money to you guys.
That's the largest increase in new construction since 2007, when the total was $594 million. Palm Coast property values have risen 17%. That's the largest increase in more than a decade. But property appraiser Jay Gardner cautions the growth is nowhere near the 40% increase the city saw in 2006.
06, look at the number, $625 million in new construction, double, let's just say. So even though it seems like we're growing so fast we can't breathe, we're not.
He estimates the total taxable value this year is $7.5 billion compared to the $6.4 billion last year. The rising property value means the city will need to decrease the tax rate as it moves forward in the budget process so residents won't pay bank-breaking rates. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Florida now has a law prohibiting protests at private homes.
The new law applies to all homes, not just those of politicians or judges. 24th District State House Representative Paul Renner says it's just a coincidence that Florida's law passed as the protests over the leaked Supreme Court decision started.
It arose out of this doxing idea, basically intimidating and threatening elected officials based on things you don't like. That's not what happens in a democracy and in a republic, and it's happened too often. It's wrong no matter what side you're on of a debate. You don't need to be parked outside somebody's home or in their front yard threatening the families and their children.
Renner remarked about those demonstrations at the homes of Supreme Court justices.
We really want to be like a third world nation where judges have to be concerned for their physical safety based on their rulings. We didn't do that when Roe v. Wade came into place 50 years ago and when it's been reaffirmed by judges from the other side of the aisle. This is about the rule of law and whether the Biden administration supports it or not.
Violators of Florida's law face 60 days in jail and fines of up to $500. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
Two fugitives wanted out of Jacksonville are arrested in connection with a theft from a Palm Coast cell phone store.
Deputies handcuffed 33-year-old John Harkless and 37-year-old Tavares Kelly after they say they stole $4,000 in Apple Watches from a T-Mobile store in Palm Coast Friday night. Sheriff Rick Staley says they used data from the Real-Time Crime Center to track the U-Haul the men were traveling in, but they got away and abandoned that vehicle. But here's where they made a mistake.
Shortly thereafter, they tried to return the stolen merchandise to Walmart in Volusia County. Deputies responded along with local police and arrested them. They were charged with grand theft in Volusia County, dealing in stolen property, and grand theft in Flagler County, and fleeing intending to elude.
Police say a similar incident happened at a Jacksonville T-Mobile store around the same time the night before. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
Volunteers are helping to keep Palm Coast clean.
Recently, the city of Palm Coast hosted its second Keep Palm Coast Clean event. Volunteers began gathering at the Public Works Department where they received trash bags and briefing instructions before heading out to collect trash from various roadways and parks in Palm Coast. Public Works Workforce Data Analyst Benny Cope.
We had over 60 volunteers in several church groups and organizations that committed their time to keeping our city beautiful. We're able to collect over 1,000 pounds of litter and several hundred pounds of debris.
The Keep Palm Coast Clean, Love Where You Live event is organized by the City of Palm Coast Public Works Department. Cope says this litter cleanup initiative encourages residents to help pick up trash in the community. It protects our environment and keeps our city looking beautiful. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
First, baby steps.
Water rescuers in Flagler County say they learned their craft first in a pool. John Raffo is with the county's fire rescue and says that he too had to learn water rescue in the pool before getting into the ocean.
Because swimming in the ocean is a completely different monster than the pool. You can have waves or chop. You can have any type of splash coming when you're coming up for your breath. There's just some different techniques that the instructors teach us in order to improve our discipline in the water a little bit.
Raffo said that instructors teach rescuers different techniques to improve their discipline in the water. He said the rescuers put in full 6 to 8 hour days learning water rescue in the ocean. The Flagler Voice is on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 8:30 and on the Flagler radio app anytime you want to listen. Tomorrow, reach Throw, don't go. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.